What is up, bookworms and constant readers? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about Star Wars: The High Republic, Light of the Jedi. This is by Charles, I think Soule is how you pronounce his name. If that's not correct, let me know in the comments below. I always try and get the author's name right. So if you haven't seen my other Star Wars video, I recommend going and checking it out. It kind of explains old canon, new canon, where you should start, just my opinions on it. A lot of people, they hate what Disney did by just trashing all of the old canon. I'm one of them. It wasn't perfect. They could have, carefully picked and choose, what to keep and what to throw away, because it wasn't all bad. But they decided to throw everything away and basically start over, except for the novels that tie into the movies. Everything else was just, it was tossed aside. Some great books like the New Jedi Order. That was like a 19-book set. I've talked about it on the channel before. I'm trying to get that set so I can read it and put it on the channel. The Thrawn trilogy, one of the best trilogies ever told in the Star Wars world. And then you had stuff like, they had a book about Darth Vader, Darth Plagueis, Darth Revan. All these were really good books, and they tossed them out to do their own thing. So in the Star Wars universe now, this is the earliest we have of what happened. This book takes place like 270 years before the Battle of Yavin, which is episode 4, A New Hope. A lot of people know it as the first Star Wars, the one that came out in 1977 that started it all. This is like 270 years before the events of that movie happened. They talk about the Jedi Sith Wars, and they don't tell you like how long that's been over, but that is over. The New Republic is just now trying to move in to the Outer Rim. They're building this space station there, and they're trying to bring order to the Outer Rim planets. They're still learning about hyperspace, and they're still mapping hyperlanes. So there's very few routes from the inner planets to the Outer Rim. And there is this tragic accident that happens in one of the hyperlanes. This cargo ship carrying settlers to the Outer Rim detects another ship in their hyperlane, and so they try this evasive maneuver to avoid it. It rips the ship apart, and pieces of the ship come out of hyperspace at near light speed, and they're threatening to destroy this entire system called the Hetzel system. There is Republic ships nearby with Jedi on board to help. And the stuff that the Jedi do in this book, it's near impossible. You read like what stuff they can do in this book, and it's like, what happened to that kind of power with the Jedi that we don't see it later on. So this ship gets ripped apart, and the Jedi come in and they save the day. They realize that these fragments that are traveling at near light speed are actually compartments of the ship, and there's actually people inside. So instead of destroying this debris, they figure out a way to, with the Jedi's help, to slow it down and bring it to a stop and save these people. And then you come to find out that the cause of all this is this mysterious race of beings. I believe they're called the Nil. I think that's how you pronounce it. And they are like masters of hyperspace, and they're feared by all these settlements and stuff in the Outer Rim. They arrive on what are like these giant storms. They kill, they rape, they pillage, and then they're gone. And everybody is afraid of them. And rumor is that you'll be fighting them, and then the next thing you know, their ship is gone. It's moved and it's over here. And so you turn your attention over here. Well, now it's not there anymore. It's over here. And they have this weird system about them where one member, kind of like the leader, has this giant flagship, and he knows all of these hyperspace routes, and he gives them to these other they're kind of like sects of this group of beings, but he has no control over them. They do their own thing, but any like loot and stuff they get, they have to split with this leader. And so you start out, you have two different stories going on. You have the story of the Nil, and then the Republic investigating this disaster. And the two stories merge into one because you find out that the Nil are behind this accident. The story is really good. I think it would make a really good movie. If you want to get into the Star Wars books, you want to read everything. I'm one of those people. I want to read everything. I love Star Wars. Definitely pick it up. If you don't care about that stuff, you're really not missing anything. Don't get attached to characters in this book because they get killed off like right and left. The story, it's really well written, and it's a page turner. You want to find out, what happens next. There's nothing in the story that I thought was like, who cares? Let's get back to what's really going on. There's none of that in this book. It moves along at a good steady pace, and it's not a lot of pages. It takes a couple days to read. But I do have my complaints, like the stuff with the Jedi. Like, I love the stuff with the Jedi and the dark side, the light side. But some of the stuff they do in this book, it's almost like, really? Like, there's a point where they use, like, I think it was like 60 or 80,000 droids, all connected in kind of like a chain to do these amazing calculations to figure out where the rest of this debris is going to pop out of hyperspace, and if there are any other systems that are in danger. And the droids start to overheat, and they're using these cooling droids to kind of cool them down, but they're running out of coolant. So this Jedi, he starts to meditate, and he's using the hot air and the condensation to create lift in the atmosphere, which the author knows what he's talking about, because I go to school for this, and technically this is how weather works, but a Jedi doing it out of so little, it's kind of hokey. But he has other Jedi help him, and they start making this hot air like lift and get into the upper atmosphere, mix with the cold air, and produce rain. And I'm just like, really, Jedi can manipulate the weather now? I mean, it's kind of hokey. But they really do tell a good story. And the only other downside I have to this book is this came out February 5th, and it leaves you on a cliffhanger. The second book is not coming out until like June. So you have to wait all the way until June to find out what happened. And I really think they, because they brought out 4 of these at one time, and then they have some other releases coming up. And I'm just wondering, like, why make the people who read this book wait so long? If you are interested in the High Republic, like I said, there are 4 books, and it's really for every age group. I got the young adults, and I got this one, which is the adult reading. The young adult one, I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head. I think it's Into the Light. I got it because it's by Claudia Gray, and she has written some really good Star Wars books, probably the best out there, next to Timothy Zahn, for the new canon. So I got that one. The one for kids, like preteens, I didn't get, and then the one for kids, I didn't get. But yeah, this, if you're into Star Wars, it's definitely cool to read. This is after the Old Republic. It's before the Republic of the Phantom Menace, and before the Empire. They kind of make note that the Sith are gone, so it kind of ties into later on in the Phantom Menace, where they're surprised that the Sith have returned. But there's nothing special that stands out to me about this book that, like, wow, I loved that character. You know, I love this character. And for me, that's what's important. Is it a good story? How are the characters? And the characters were okay, but they're forgettable. Like, thinking about it now, it's been like a week since I finished this, and I don't remember any of the characters' names. And I know that's because a lot of people die in this book, and that's why I say don't get attached to characters, because more than likely they will die. And I think that had something to do with it, because they weren't in the story for very long, or they were, you know, maybe in the story a quarter of it, and then they died. But yeah, I can't think of one character's name in this book. And that, to me, that's kind of sad, because you should, you know, you finish reading a book, you should know the characters. I can tell you what it's about. I can tell you different scenes from the book. I can tell you how it ended. But yeah, I mean, it was, I gave it, I think on Goodreads, at like a 3 out of 5. Like I said, if you're really into reading all the Star Wars books, then this is where it starts. You have to get this one. And it was just nothing great, nothing spectacular, but it was a fun read. It's a good story, and I'm looking forward to June to finding out how it ends. So there you have it, Star Wars, The High Republic, Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule. That's all I got for you today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. Comment below if you've read this book. What are your thoughts on Star Wars canon? Do you like where it's going? Do you not like where it's going? Hit the bell button so you know when my videos come out. I have videos scheduled all the way, I think, into March now. But yeah, subscribe, like, hit the bell. Till next time, read more books.